So let's see what happens when the draft gets a little bit less comfortable, as DNS have R5'd here.
Yeah, they have R5.
Oh,
whoa,
okay,
B5'd.
Picked red side. I don't think any team has done that yet.
So wait, we're just swapping sides. It's gonna be the same thing. It's just exactly the same thing. So HLE red side once again with first pick, which was exactly what we had last time around. And let's see what can happen here, as of course things are going to be different. This is Fearless, and so a very different draft is what we're going to be looking at here.
No team would ever pick red side. So my theory about this 3 naming convention was going to be perfect. It didn't work out.
Well, we could also have Jar and Man banned away again, which I think would be really cool if that was to happen. And I really like really cool things happening. Akali ban, please.
I think the Akali ban was because Zeka wanted to go for the Azir and ban the Nocturne, so I don't think they'll ban it this time.
Oh, no!
Sorry.
Not Mr.
Mister.
It's
we could have
Mr.
Letter.
T.
It's Mr.
T.
Letter.
Mr. T could be banned. That would be pretty cool. Oh man, imagine if that happened.
They just banned Taric in that 3rd spot.
Yeah, we need a Taric ban. That's what we absolutely need.
They could ban Talon as well.
Talon could be the ban. What's something that would make...
Teemo.
It could be Mr. N, because that'd be like Mr. No from James Bond, because it could be a Nico ban.
Okay.
Nico ban could happen. Mr. P.
Mr. P still...
Who's Mr. P? Did anyone have a teacher at
It's just
school called
Pantheon.
Mr. P?
It's just he's Mr. P. He doesn't like to be called Pantheon.
All right, so Mr. P getting banned away here on the side of HLE.
Pantheon's not his real name anyways, right? Like,
and they stick with the Jar. They stick with the Jar on the other side.
Okay. And Bessa is taken away again. Vystocks are up. That makes a lot of sense as a first pick here. Yep. They will get Nico and Corki or Yunara, whichever they prefer.
But Yunara into Vi? Are we ever feeling good about that?
It is pretty tricky. Feeling a little bit better about it when you get the Wukong.
Yep. And Wukong can do some tricky stuff. We have seen Kanavi use his ultimate on a clone before. So that might be something that they can lean on again.
It could happen. I'm really curious what the game plan is going to be in the bottom lane here. Does Delight want to pull out the Bard, try to match at range in this game, or do they want to go for more engage instead? Because Corki is probably your best bet, but with what is the real question? With whom will he be laning?
Indeed. Could be just more engage here for Delight, but you probably want something with a little bit more power.
I like the Ahri more because I think it's a little bit more safe setup. Has not been very popular as of late, though.
Yep. The Aurora is something that Zeka has just had a phenomenal series on. So we did see him last time out really have a great showing, but this would be a pretty standard combination.
Another Taliyah Rise game.
Wow.
Oh,
okay. Just slams the Ahri. Okay. I don't know about that. I've always kind of hated the Ahri into Taliyah, but we'll see how it goes.
I don't really like it either, especially because the Wukong setup is just not as consistent as Vi, and basically doesn't exist pre-6, so... Let's see what else they have in mind, because they have, right now, only Engage in their composition, and the enemy AD carry has an escape button.
He does, but that means if you've got a lot of Engage, then you can catch him after he presses the escape button.
That is true. I think the Nautilus ban makes a ton of sense, even though it's really hard to lane into the Nico, regardless of matchup. The Corki can work really well with it, and it's just insane value with the single target they already have. So that's a really smart ban, even though when you think about the 2v2 alone, you might raise an eyebrow at it. I think for the greater composition, it's very powerful. In terms of AD carries here, do you really want to ban some of those AD carries that are great to blow up single target, like the Yunara, like the Zeri? Probably not. You're probably happy if they lock it in. They opt for it anyways. The Yunara does have a lot of lane power. And let's be real, Duckdom was trying to 1v9 last game, and giving him a champion where he could potentially do that is probably a bad idea.
I mean, he wants to play Aphelios, though, so I don't know, like, maybe banning that one would have been enough.
He might play Aphelios here, but I think playing Aphelios in this comp when you opted for Nico is so tricky. There's no Thresh, there's no Lulu, there's no safety. You're just going to have to hope the Wukong and the Nico ultimates peel enough for you. I think it might be a bridge too far, because Yunara kind of has an escape, right? The Xayah in this situation, I think, would be a very bad choice. I hope they do not do it. Duckers would never do it to me.
Not this time. Well, Mr. Pudge has been banned away here by HLE, which I very much enjoy. I don't want to try and do the other one because it's another just falling down the stairs after saying Jar. All right, Duckdom and Peter, what are we locking away here?
Ezreal
will be the choice.
Ezreal's pretty safe here. and has decent follow-up to the engage that they have in their composition.
Ooh, this is some tech that we had seen prior.
It's really common. It's really strong. There's a lot of different things you can talk about with how this duo operates differently than the Lucian Nami. But instead, the Bard, which is safer in lane and also can help set up Talia, is going to be the one that gets chosen here. It can also ruin what DN Supers are trying to do. Mess up the Nico Wukong setup and really prevent Silene collapsing. There's so much utility here.
Yeah, the Tempered Fate can be so incredibly game-changing.
Not to mention,
against this composition.
You already have Weaver's Wall, but you can get the Vi into some pretty creative places as well with the Magical Tourney.
Wow, Zaya's thinking about an Aurora top. That would be a choice, and that is what they're going to go for here.
It's blind as well. But it feels pretty difficult to punish this pick.
Yeah, I wonder what the choice is going to be here for Dudu.
Is he just going to play Ornn?
Just plays Akali and we've got 2 mid lane matchups. That'd be kind of fun. But instead, it's the Dusante that is going to be his response.
I really liked how simple DN Super's last game draft was with the Orianna, you know, the scaling Sivir, the wave control. This draft for me, I feel, is quite piecemeal in what it's trying to do. And the Cassante is not going to have prio. The Ahri isn't going to have a lot of jungle assist power, whereas Talia Vi has been a combo since Talia release date.
Yep.
And
the dawn of time.
It is one of the strongest, in my mind, I think has been the best in the early game performing mid-jungle duo in LCK Cup thus far, Zeka and Kanavi. And so there's just not a lot of agency in the early game here. Then you have a front line with this Cassante, but it's an Ezreal comp with Wukong and Nico. Whereas on the other side, for Hanwha Life Esports, you have zoning, you have pick, you have a 2-item spiking 80 carry. With the lead you're probably going to generate in lane already, it feels like getting to that position is going to be relatively safe. So it's just Duck Dom or bust again. You know, Endless Hunger, Ezreal. Let's see what we can see.
The thing is, right, Ezreal has always struggled at taking down tanks. There are no tanks. HLE's composition is very flimsy. So with champions that have a little bit less damage but a lot of burst, like the Ahri, like the Ezreal, then there's an opportunity for them to make things happen as this game goes on. And they're the ones with the true frontline, right? In the Dusante that they do have available to themselves. And with the engage of the Nico, with the Cyclone to layer on top, if Pyosik gets his stuff together, or his sheet together, as Wadid would say. Obviously, he said sheet earlier on today. It was nothing untoward. Don't you worry about that. Let's get another rift here. Game number 2. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. On to the rift.
I think it's quite contemporary what Wadid said, because we don't really use slates anymore, do we? We're not living in the Flintstones times.
No.
We use sheets. So when you want to clear the sheet,
honestly,
you press Control A, and then you delete it, or Command A if you're on a Mac. And if you print that out, it's a clean sheet.
So I thought that we were talking about like paper, and I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's also getting a little bit obsolete these days as everything's digital. But you were talking about like sheets, like an Excel, like
Excel
a
file.
spreadsheet.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. See?
Makes complete sense, Wolf. I'm really glad that you helped me out there. I'm a bit boomer brain, as you know. That's all right. We've got a lot of buttons being exchanged here in this bottom lane.
It was 1 F for 2 Ds.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the second F. Wait, no, they're both Ds,
yeah,
right?
It's just, yeah. Wait,
no, are they both Dlashers?
They're both Dlashers, man.
They're both Dlashers. There are 3 Dlashers on this team.
That's actually crazy that they're Dlashing together.
For a second, I was like, wait, is Red Side reversed? Because I saw 3 in a row.
I understand why Kanavi wants to have his flash as accessible as possible, because he does just like going in. I think, you know, having that as close to your normal buttons as possible is the way to make that one happen. But I just would not have expected it out of Doc Dom and Peter. Kind of crazy. Well, there we go.
Early Nico Ezreal feels favorable. And they did end up kind of, unfortunately, layering both of their summoners. Didn't end up mattering too much, but that was probably not ideal. And at the end of the day, they still got Guma's Barrier.
Or at the start of the day, Wolf. This is only our first series.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh, nailed.
Well, it is. I mean, it's 6 p.m., so it's kind of the end of the day. Just not
that's
the day of
true.
League of Legends.
It's the beginning of the evening.
And you and I are both fathers, so we know that like 6 p.m. feels a little different.
Yeah.
6 p.m. used to kind of feel like the middle of the day.
Honestly, now like 9 p.m. feels like so incredibly late. I looked out of the window last night at around 9, expecting it to be like completely empty, right? There'd be no one outside because it started snowing, and I'm an Australian. I think that's really, really cool. So we have a bit of a fight here in the mid lane as Nice Charm is going to connect. Orbital Deception there as well as Zeka throws a rock to the wayside, and Closer is going to win out on the trade quite considerably. But as I was saying, I looked out the window because I wanted to watch it snowing, and there were like so many people outside. I'm like, what are you doing? It's the middle of the night. And then I realized it was 9 p.m.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Time changes.
Indeed.
Pyosik going to get this scuttle. Going to have a crazy fight around Dragon this game around, I don't think. Like we had last game that gave
we had a
DNS that lead.
4v4 for first scuttle last time, and now it's just Pyosik by himself.
Kanavi's evolving.
Yep. And he's evolving into gank top lane, perhaps, as Dudu is looking quite susceptible at this point in time. He is going to go back home, though, not actually looking for it, as Pyosik moving on up. We'll be back to farm out his Gromp, as there is vision over here.
It's not going to matter too much, because there's no gank opportunity for Kanavi right now.
Yep, but there is now information gained by HLE. Pyosik walking over that ward a couple of times. Let's walk back up here towards his top side. Zeus is spotted.
And Zeus is like, yeah, Wukong trying to gank an Aurora at level 4.
Yeah,
okay.
Not too worried about
With a Cassante for setup? Yeah.
Oh man, Dudu gets comboed there and doesn't feel too good about it. Null Magic Mantle in hand as well as some shoes. Wants to get towards those Merc Shreds as quickly as possible by the looks. Unless, you know, it's going to be something else, just wants to get to the Rook home as fast as he can, which does make a lot of sense, given the double AP lanes.
Yeah, that is 100% going to be built in this game, you have to imagine.
Yep. I wouldn't even put it past him to go Spirit Visage second as well, which we've seen a lot of.
Yeah. Very strong. I'm most curious about how the Ahri is going to function in this composition.
It is Closer, and he's a pretty good Ahri player.
But its setup is so tricky in this draft.
Oh, Gumayushi actually getting snared here by Peter, who's having a pretty good time on the Nico. This is one of his best picks as of last year, as Magical Journey is taken here by Peter. Does a lot of damage to Delight, who does have to get himself out. Heal now off the table.
Well, if Peter can hit those, especially doubles, repeatedly, then the Ahri setup is right there. All along, it doesn't even need to pop Blossom to set him up.
It's a good point, and it's actually something that I didn't really factor in as we did see this draft, is the fact that Peter is on the Nico. Because he's just really good at this champion. Plate number 1 does go down here as Zeka looking to try and help out.
That could have been
taking some poke, though.
That could have backfired, too, because Pyosik was in the area, even though he doesn't have level 6. And we're trying to lane. It's going okay. Year of Dudu.
Yeah. Does have level 6 now. Can go all out if he wants to, but getting all out of range of Zeus is problematic, as Kanavi not going to land the Vault Breaker here, as we have the Brad looking for some charms in the river. Delight rotating up, so
I
does need to be a bit careful.
Think that the Cassante pick makes a lot of sense in isolation when you consider, like they picked, you know, second pick, right? They wanted to have the counter pick, and they end up with this situation where they can just index heavily into MR, and Cassante is very difficult to kill.
Yes.
He's just naturally tanky with his base resistances into the Corki anyways.
He's still looking for an angle here towards Zeus. Dudu realizing that the angle is going to be try and go all in as often as possible, but you can see, looking a little worse for wear. Has already gone back and completed his Negatron Cloak.
Zeus is so close to being able to kill him, actually, with Between Worlds, but he respects it and backs away.
Yep.
First Dragon goes over to Pyosik, actually, with that bottom side prio. That's pretty significant.
And, okay. A little bit of a snare onto Peter there with the Cosmic Binding. Nicely done by Delight. Stop any more aggression here. As Dr. Arm down to 50%, so does need to be a little careful. But with a decent advantage at the moment. True Shot Barrage connects onto Delight, takes him down to 50%.
Seems like Ohm in the coaching booth after game 1 was like, do not fight them until you have your ultimates and you have the right setup. Do not hands check Kanavi. I'm asking you to just make sure the bottom lane's okay, kind of be around there, but do not engage unless I come in coach comms and tell you to.
Well, right now you can see they are definitely listening. As just a bit of a back to come through here for Dr. See whether he does have the Sheen at the ready. And
you know,
does put that together now.
They could quite literally use the coach comms and coach voice as a leash for Kanavi.
That might be a good way to do it.
They haven't really utilized this strategy yet, but I do think that if you tell him not to do it, he'll probably listen.
Yeah. It's like you get the phone call, and Kanavi's like, oh no, Dad's on the phone again. As Charm is going to hit him. There's the Cyclone as well. Tempered Fate just to try and buy a bit of space here as the Seismic Shove comes through closer. Looking for the angle. Orbit Deception connects onto Kanavi. Pyoshik makes his way through the magical journey. Great Charm to connect onto Light, who has to flash to get out of the way of Peter's Tangle Barbs.
So this was the even game state do enemy Raptor camp variant of the copy pasta.
Yeah, a little bit not as optimal. However, you do have to do it to try and create that advantage, as you said. That's what I learned, Wolf, from you earlier on. I'm really glad about that one. As Gumiushi walking towards Dr. and Peter. I don't know whether he really wants to do that. Really wanted access to the wave.
Is he trying to trick him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like now they got the TP coming from Delight. Like I think he successfully may have baited them into an unfavorable position.
Well, we do have Zeka moving down.
It's working!
There's the Cosmic Binding onto Peter. True Shot Barrage comes in as now Zeka throws out that volley. And Peter not going to get hit by that Seismic Shove. That was a little bit optimistic as Gumiushi taking a lot of damage. Minions doing some work there as well as Doctom's Arcane shifting forward.
And Closer should be able to get some plate gold in the mid lane as well. Initially, that looked so weird what Guma was doing there, but it looked like there was definitely some intention behind it, and yet still did not work out as well as they would have hoped. If that shove hits Peter, then I think it's a completely different story. Now, a plate will go to the Ahri, but the plate will also go over to Zeus here in the top lane at the same time, unrelated.
Yep. Yoshik moves on over, wants to be able to grab this last grub that Zeus is going to be a little bit annoying about, but with a smite, Yoshik is absolutely fine, able to lock that one down as Little Rocket to annoy Doctom.
I could have barriered that. That's probably what he's telling himself.
Shouldn't have been shopping. As 400 gold is the approximate lead here for HLE in this early game. Definitely looking better than game number 1, and they won that game. So probably feeling very happy, HLE at this point.
I wonder how it must feel to be Duckdom in this type of scenario, because there's probably more things going on in his mind than like, I'm just laning in a pro game here, since Guma was the MVP who denied his team from winning a world championship just a few months ago.
Yep.
And that same man just shoots a rocket at him and delays his back, and he's like, ugh, it's this Guma guy is ruining my day.
Well, certainly going to continue doing so here if he lets him, as now Zeus going to get thrown out of his Between Worlds. Looks for some weirding here, but going all out is Dudu, finds the flash, but there is the blast cone. Dudu avoids it though, so he doesn't get further away, and he finds the Q. Max range, that's the Dusante.
Absolute insanity, and the timing of the all out during the Between Worlds almost feels unreal that he's able to actually pull it off.
I'm really surprised he even made that angle. I didn't quite even see.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it again
when the champions got into that position.
Because it's like during the slight like animation, I guess, of when the Between Worlds is happening is what it looked like. We'll see the replay, no doubt, but insane mechanical play there from Dudu, and is able to get the max range Q3 to snipe him. That's as far. He's like, I'm a range champion at this one specific moment. Just look at that.
Oh.
As he's trying to go Between Worlds, gets pulled in. Blast Cone helps him survive for now.
That sidestep was revolt. That was blind.
He's just like, how do you like playing against a ranged top laner?
Yeah, man, that was everything he did there was perfect.
It's actually crazy. Maybe it is the year of Dudu.
I think perhaps it's the year of Dudu and the year of Vikler at the same time. It has to be.
It was the year of Closer last year.
It was. And look, we haven't seen him pop up just yet. He's got his Malignance done. Maybe there's a chance for him to find an angle. As Dudu with his Rookern done, misses everything, but he doesn't have to hit it because he did the cool.
He didn't have kill pressure this time.
Exactly.
You hit it when you have the kill pressure.
Well, he is going to be able to find Zeus here. Look, he just takes no damage. Now that this Rookern is done, he is just able to walk at Zeus over and over again.
And they're going to get Double Dragon again, potentially, here. Prio is Closers right now with his ultimate up. Very difficult to challenge this Dragon. If you're HLE, I think DNS are just going to get it.
Let's see whether Kanavi can do anything. The answer is no. He's just going to be backing in the Tri-Brush. Decides to cancel it. Let's see whether they can find an angle as Doctorm. Oh dear, there it is. Cease and desist can come down, but he swaps targets to the clone. I'm not sure about that one as now Closer comes in, but there's a seismic shove. And Zeka is going to stop that one from happening. Wow, Kanavi. Was that what happened? I don't want to like throw him under the bus because it was very confusing, but it's almost like he had an Ezreal right there and decided instead clone.
Yeah, that was very peculiar.
We'll see in the replay.
Yeah,
maybe that's not what happened. I think that's what happened.
I was looking at Delight because I thought he was going to set up a really big turn with his ultimate, and then his ultimate hit nothing as they were retreating, but instead, you know, Kanavi just did not actually end up getting the pick onto Duckdom there. Duckdom did not flash or spell, or not spell shield, but a barrier in that moment either. Stayed calm and collected.
I'm confused.
Yeah, let's watch that one again.
I think we'll need to. As right now, DNS have gold advantages across the board, but it's only spelt about an 800 gold lead at this point in time. Not really the end of the world. We're going to have a look at this one more time. Okay.
So Kanavi...
There are a lot of clones for him to press the button on, and he actually did dive on top of the Pop Blossoming Nico.
Yeah, I don't really think there's anything weird that happened there that would have disrupted him.
Yeah. So it was, there are a lot of clones
besides a lot of fake clones,
yeah. So it gets a little confusing.
I mean, it's hard to click on the lantern when there's a lot of wards on the ground. You know, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Unless I missed something there, I think that may have been player error.
Perhaps. But still, no harm, no foul. No one really going down. But Double Dragon did come on through for DNS, and now it's a Hextech Soul.
I mean, I guess you...
HLE do the same thing again, by the way. A Quadra Hextech Soul is kind of obscene.
It would be obscene. I guess you could argue maybe he thought that the follow-up wasn't close enough, so he wanted to kind of like use it as an escape and try to rejoin his teammates a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Also just trying to go for the target that's closer to the rest of your teammates to maximize your ability to get a kill.
Exactly.
Something like that. I don't know.
Either way,
we're giving a lot of benefit of the doubt here, and we do like to do that.
It's Double Dragon and DNS are not as ahead as they were in game one, but the way this game has gone makes you kind of want to trust the individual play we're seeing, because it has kind of been some individual outplays across the board that really is where we've led to in this game in terms of their position. It hasn't been big team fights or Ezreal or Corki sitting on their item spikes just yet. I mean, this is going to be a bit of a slower start here in this one until those two items do hit.
Well, Closer is going to get discovered here by Kanavi. Does throw out the charm, almost manages to hit Zeka there, as now looks to get out of the way of the seismic shove. And Zeka actually taking a lot of damage. Closer playing that really well.
Yeah, he was like, well, if I'm going to ult, I'm going to take 2 half health bars.
Maximize your ability to do work, as Zeka is going to have his back stopped. A little bit frustrating there.
That exchange is just Herald here for DNS. So, you know, there was a reason behind the collapse there. And when Closer used his ult, Pioshik was like, let's see what we can get. They get the whole Herald out of this for free, basically, and they'll even get a Scuttle.
Oh, free crab on the side? Gorgeous.
Kanavi hates doing his own Raptor camp, but he's going to have to do that one here, sadly.
Thankfully, Pioshik's Raptor camp is also coming up relatively soon, so let's see whether he can take that one down as well. Dash Cannon done here for Peter, as Doctorm taking a lot of damage from Guma. Arcane Shift gets him out of the way, but looking a little worse for wear, as item parity between our two AD carries, and in fact sitting on almost exactly the same CS. Zeka will finally complete his quest, last one to do so here. Does upgrade his Boots of Lucidity.
Yeah, the mid-quest sometimes just gets really slowed down.
And also doesn't really matter, it's not one of the scaling ones, so we're not feeling too worried about it, as, oh, did he manage to get it? I think he managed to get it.
I could not see, actually.
Some money did pop up, so I'm not going to say that the zoom in was necessary here, as Zeus might be in a little trouble.
He did avoid everything so far. Let's see what he can do next.
Yep, going between worlds here as Closer throws out the Orb of Deception, and I think Zeus may be dead, as Rock in a Hard Place doesn't really tell the story, as Peter will take a lot of damage, but will be able to make it out safely.
A Rock Hard plays Charms, Pop Blossom, and Wukong.
Yeah.
No Cyclone in this case was not employed, but that is going to be the bottom turret going down. An interesting place to drop it. Oh, well, in fact, it will be a Talia ult going down. Oh,
yeah.
No way.
Oh, he's going to reposition and still get the charge. Oh, no.
Right, this is going to have to be the first WA TV Talia wall segment of the year.
I think so. Let's see whether we will have Woodid there. Hopefully he doesn't talk too much about sheets, because that makes us a little bit nervous. As Dr.
He's going to start the next desk off with a clean slate, Atlas.
Yes, and I hope he does hold up a sheet to explain what he was actually talking about prior. And I hope it's a very clean sheet as well, because that's what he said.
Yeah, with nothing on it at all.
Yeah, I've got a lot of clean sheets here as well. We were given those. So Dr. Just going to be clearing out some minions here in this mid lane as we have the dragon spawning.
It does not
DNS
look like
have a lot of control.
Does not look like we're dropping dragons after double dragon here in game 2 for DNS, as
they are just cruising this game.
DNS, by the way, actually good team.
Actually good team.
Actually good team.
I think not going to be waiting like an entire year for a win. I don't think that's going to be happening, as of course they've already won here in the LCK Cup. Okay, taking some plates down as Yoshik just by himself going to be securing this third Drake.
Zeus is going to get a turret for Hextech Soul Point. I guess that's all they can really get here is... we did supposed to do this one.
We're going to get Zeka TV.
Eh?
예?
Eh? Agreed.
아, 모셔 먹어야 되는데.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to stop it.
Yeah.
He did not. He was unsuccessful. I thought that was a very great usage of player voice.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's precisely what we need this feature for. As Pyoshik thinking about trying to find an angle here, as they do manage to successfully steal away the enemy blue buff, and out goes HLE.
I think League of Legends needs a little bit more stuff like Herald in it.
Yeah.
You know, that can create comedy on the Rift. Nice try, Zeus.
Yeah, very close. Down to 13 health there. Pyoshik is able to lock down his Grump. Very, very important. As Peter clearing out vision where he can. And we are ticking closer and closer to Baron time. But I don't think anyone's really going to be starting that one off anytime soon. Not a lot of like Baron damage. You know, we don't have like the crit 80 carries that want to be doing like massive amounts of consistent damage here.
Imagine if
Ezreal.
Otacon existed in this game.
No, I don't want
how easily this lead for DNS could just be.
Oh yeah, it could evaporate in a second.
We would probably because at that time we would know that Otacon could exist. We probably wouldn't even speak as if DNS was in the lead with 2.5k gold in 3 dragons.
I feel like now that Otacon is gone, every single professional League of Legends team just got 50% better.
Yeah, they're just way smarter now.
Yeah, everyone's so much smarter now.
It's
very,
crazy.
very cool. It's very, very cool. It's amazing that a patch can do that.
Like, you remember, like, when you think about where we are in LCK Cup right now in terms of team parity, it's crazy how close everyone really is. Like, Hanwha Life Esports lost to Nongshim, right? But DRX took a game off T1, lost to this team, who now might also beat Hanwha. Like, it's, like, we have a lot of good teams in this tournament thus far. The Rise group's going to be real interesting.
Oh, yeah. We don't even know who's going to be in the
Rise. I mean, the race to escape Rise will actually be such an exciting one this year, I think.
Do you know what the best thing is? Maybe Legend Group is just going to be another Rise group, you know? Maybe that's what it's going to be. Maybe our teams have all just, like, accepted that Rise Group is the way.
It's just Rise and Risen. We'll change the name.
Oh, there we go. All right. Well, Gumiushi did manage to soak the majority of the Mystic shots in lane, and so is struggling here a little bit. There's a cease and desist. They just blow up Doctor. Goodbye. That's what happens if you hit all of the Mystic shots onto Gumiushi. You just die. Kanavi just says goodbye to you.
I mean, if you put something in front of Kanavi's face, you dangle a carrot.
Yeah.
He will bite.
He will bite, yes. And if you're scratching your head as to why, then the joke's on you. As double ulti going to connect here from Delight Between Worlds, and down goes the Nico. Zeka just bouncing around his circle, and Dudu will survive, but he is looking a little worse for wear, and HLE just coming alive here in this mid game.
Yeah, it's just one overstep from the Ezreal, who has Flash and E. Does not matter. They're going to try to... Okay.
Yeah, Closer just pressing that R button, seeing what he can get done here, but that is a clone that's going to get thrown around. Closer still looking for it. True Shot Barrage from base. As Dr. just announces that he is back alive once again.
They really wanted to defend that turret, which is very important for this upcoming Dragon fight. And with the Ahri ultimate, use it this timing, should still be able to use it for this upcoming fight. But this is the real story here, is Dr. is like clearing a control ward and then queuing a Vi. I really can't justify this one in any way.
Sometimes you just want to, like, all red dots are red dots, Wolf. And that ward was also a red dot.
It's been 80 years, by the way. Like, please fix that quirky spectator. I'm just going to mention it every time it happens now.
Yeah, I remember my grandmother talking about it when I was born.
I actually think that's what triggered the stock market collapse right before the Great Depression was...
oh, really?
A bunch of people just lost their minds to the sound of Gatling gun forever, and they just suddenly were like, we've got to sell everything.
It's so funny because you talk about that based on the Great Depression. I also saw it in The Big Short. That was the main thing about it. Yeah. They were like, the big thing was like, the big conspiracy was that actually it was all based on a Corky Gatling gun bug.
Like, if they don't fix it, it could actually be what triggers World War III.
It could be.
Or the end of the Earth. So I think it's probably, it may be the most infuriating thing that exists on this planet. It may actually be the biggest plague in the esports industry.
I also think that it might have been why the dinosaurs went extinct.
Yeah, that's very likely.
Yeah, crocodiles survive because they have bad hearing. That's why. All right, HLE setting up to try and deny this Hextech Soul. Great charm connects onto Kanavi. He does manage to get Mikhails, but into the backline goes Peter. Finds 3 with the Pop Blossom, but the massive damage from this Aurora comes on through. Pioshik looking to try and find an angle, though. It's a magical journey. Gets to light to safety. And Zeus now finds himself alone. Dudu getting thrown around like a ragdoll, but he is a very healthy ragdoll who goes all out onto Zeka looking for the angles here. Does get flung back, though, and will be taken out as Closer doesn't quite manage to find it. And the flash forward from Gumayushi. He sees his target's vulnerable, and he takes him down. As DNS, they do have a couple of members left alive, and it looks like we will have another dragon fight.
Yeah, it does look that way. No Kanavi for 8 seconds, and Pioshik having Smite and being Wukong means that there's just no way to try to start this one up. This fight is super broken up. Dudu comes in here a little bit late, but still ultimately with this charm, they're able to get the push onto Kanavi. Pop Blossom here ends up being insane value, but they're not able to hit the bio target Guma. The shove is great. Aguma just sits back and does massive damage. And then Zeus here, a little bit optimistic, but it's able to help Guma again, continue to chip away at this health bar. It's a really long replay. We probably got to jump into Dragon now.
Yeah, I have a feeling, because we do have DNS coming back up, so... Oh, it's the steal! That's going to be Hextech Soul! As Pioshik finally shows up here at the perfect time! Takes out Kanavi as well! And DNS, I mean, they fell off the horse, but you know what you have to do, Wolf? You just jump back in that saddle and you start riding away. And that's precisely what they did.
We didn't get to the critical part of that replay because we had to jump out, but we also kind of missed the beginning of the setup there on the Dragon. But ultimately, Pioshik gets the steal, and that is all you need. Now we're starting Baron. Kanavi's dead.
Oh, God. Okay. DNS really looking to try and...
Ezreal
make use of this.
Pretty good with Hextech Soul.
Does find a Pop Blossom on Zeus. It's not the Hextech gate he wanted to take as he tries to go between the worlds, but unfortunately, DNS is on every side of the world.
Yeah, and unfortunately, even though they stopped the Baron, I don't know if it's really a positive net result here for the side of Honda Life Esports, as it can clear this wave and at least stop this turret from going down, but it's got Crystalline Overgrowth. One wave getting anywhere near it means it is going to fall. So technically, Zeus' sacrifice is not in vain, but let's go back to this fight here. It's just a 50-50 flip. There's no real secure delay. He's not in position to really offer anything back in this fight. Kanavi, because the rest of the team just says, well, we lost it, we're not going to fight for this one, he just ends up being left to die. Zeus takes this Hextech gate to try to actually get a flank angle onto Duckdom. I think it's insanely good that Peter realizes instantly that he needs to Pop Blossom him and then turn the rest of the team back to focus him down. Honda Life Esports cannot follow the play. It was a really cool idea from Zeus there. On second look, it actually could have maybe even saved that fight for them, but the reaction from Peter is instant.
Yeah, Peter just sort of reading the play very, very well. 2,000 gold, the lead here for DNS. The problem is, and this is what I wanted to talk about just prior, it's Ezreal with Hextech Soul.
He's like the Hextech guy.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And the kind of things that you can do. Now has 3 items completed. And yeah, Duckdom is going to be scary.
He went Shojin's instead of the Endless Hunger 3rd item, which we have seen really popular, but Shojin's is stronger. And when you hit it on 3, Endless Hunger gets stronger the more AD you put together. And you know, he just wants to, I think, hold on to his lead in this game that he has. I mean, not him over Gumayushi, but the lead that his team has. Yeah. The current game state and the objective control they've had, which has been phenomenal.
And Guru is very strong in this game right now, right? He does have 3 items. Lord Dom's at number 3. Will still be able to cut through Dudu here, most likely. The problem is, DNS have Hextech Soul, and it's just kind of silly. 3 minutes on the Elder, by the way, guys, and it's only 27 minutes into the game.
That's what happens when you get a 4 Drake stack. The crazy thing is that because of the double AP, it's really important for Guma to be fed because the Rookern is there, right, for Dudu. You know, even the Verdant Barrier is high value here for Closer. Guma is going to really have to do a lot of damage. He is going to have to be very consistent with his output in this one. He does not have Flash. He only has Valkyrie to rely on, and the siege is real. Whoa. Look at the Hextech at work.
Oh, dear. Yep. Dr. is going to continue to do stuff like that as he zaps the minion wave over and over again. And just a little bit more of a minion wave, and they will be able to take down this inner turret as well in the mid lane. Things getting very dark on Summoner's Rift for HLE. And DNS have just kind
TP
of
flank.
sidestep there as Dr. might be able to dive on over as Zeus gets on in. Does do a fair bit of damage there, takes 50% of the health bar of the Ezreal as Kanavi moves over. Pop Blossom to hold onto him. True Shot Barrage to do a fair bit of damage, but Peter now without an ultimate. Teleport does come in from the Ahri though as Closer looking for a flank angle. Dudu is a little worse for wear though, and this is an awkward fight as Zeus dives around the battlefield. Zekka in trouble though as Pyosik gets the Cyclone onto Gumayushi, who's down to 50%. Down goes Zeus as he takes matters into his own hands. And unfortunately, DNS have Hextech Soul, and it's just really hard to be a tricky Aurora in this game.
Yeah, in the scrappy fight, when you have the Ahri flank as well from Closer, it's really tough to be in Hanwha Life Esports' position into Hextech Soul. This is a very, very low health Ahri, and they are going to come over for a contest. Kanavi does have Flash. He's also Vi, but I think the timing is a little bit tricky.
Yeah, Dudu is at full health. He is so incredibly scary, but HLE, they could possibly get this one done as he steals it away! He might be denied an exit from the pit, but they get denied the Baron as well. Beautifully done here for HLE to try and hold on to their position in this game.
Baron worth a little bit less, but the denial here is massive. We go back to this fight here. It is very broken up. Peter zones Kanavi here. It's not the greatest start to the fight because now they don't have Pop Blossom for the follow-up. Zeus wants to go in, but Dudu is just so tanky. And then this flank from Closer really seals the deal with the Wukong engage onto Zekka. And with Hextech slows, how do you turn this fight as HLE? You kind of just lose if you try to retreat slowly and kite back. You lose if you try to go in. And unfortunately, Zeus, who was flanking, is the one who dies. This timing on the steal is really, really tight here, and also the control vision in the pit is so incredible.
That tight. Pyosik just needed to press Smite. It was like sitting at 1300 for forever.
I forgot about the fact that the Smite is upgraded. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Maybe it was a little bit less tight.
Yeah. But it was like, that was in slow-mo as well, so maybe it looked a little bit more painful for us.
It's still an impressive steal, and Kanavi, who hasn't had his greatest game of the season here, is at least redeemed significantly from it.
And also, kind of ironically, Pyosik's lead was 1400. All right, Zeus is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Closer just finds him.
He's 0-6 in this game. He's trying to be a playmaker, but it is just not working out. This blind Aurora pick, and that might cost them Elder in the game.
Yeah, well, it's serious time, Wolf, and he's playing. That's the unfortunate part. That's all right. I know how this one goes. DNS, they have a man advantage, but they may not necessarily have a smite advantage. So let's just see whether Kanavi can do it again.
I mean, he's on the edge. He's got vision in the pit. Maybe they should clear that this time.
Yeah, they're going to have to go for the turn. There's the flash charm onto Zeus. He does get Mikhail's, but it does not quite work as Kanavi decides he wants to go in, desperately trying to save the play, and it does not work. Peter keeps himself alive. Gumayushi takes the magical journey, has to flash, as there is the Tempered Fate to try and buy some space, but the Elder is picked up. True Shot Barrage, and the Dragon descends from the skies to get some revenge here for Dr.
Bit of revenge.
That is all she wrote, Wolf.
Bit of revenge there for Duckers, as you said. Took the words right out of my mouth. Feeling pretty good about that one. He'll interrupt his back in this case. Zeus does respawn here, but is only desperately going to try to clear the wave to buy time.
Well, you'll see whether it won't work. The Dragon's angry, and Pyosik is going to
he clears the wave
on to the Aurora. He did in fact do that.
He gives them a second lease on life here, although I don't know how big the lease really is.
By the way,
bad analogy.
As far as negative Rebel Baron power plays are concerned, is 2,500 the biggest?
Probably of the season so far. I've seen worse, though.
It's pretty impressive. Okay, let's have a look at this fight one more time.
This is just a really great engage from Closer onto Zekka here, taking him out of the fight right away, and then they have the stronger front line with Dudu. And then this Tempered Fate buys some time, but the snipe is still real.
Oh, the Cosmic Binding from Delight was fantastic, but it didn't really matter. Zeus loves Hexgate.
So he is able to, despite being 0-6.
Yeah, he actually, he only wanted to kill the minions.
Yeah,
he only wanted to kill the minions.
He just wanted to clear the wave. He is successful. So that ends up stopping the Nexus from falling. They still have Elder, and they are killing the other things on the map.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change the outcome of the game, but it did stop the game from ending right then.
It was correct. It just didn't really matter necessarily.
Yeah. Kind of cute. Let's see whether they have another team fight in them. As between worlds goes Zeus once again. Does do a little bit of chip damage as Dr. Arm taking a fair bit, as well as Gumayushi getting slowed down. Man, Hextech Soul is stupid. It really is frustrating.
It's really crazy when you have that and the Elder.
Yeah, they have kind of all of the things. Baron's going to be up in 2 minutes' time. They've got 30 seconds left of Elder. And Dr. Arm Arcane shifts over the Weaver's wall. And they were able to break open the base here.
Slow and steady. I mean, he has Sereldas on top of all of this. Like, this game should not be losable here for DNS.
Oh, you say that. But I was watching yesterday, okay? And where was this bottom lane from?
Berserker was also like, you know,
oh, no.
I once sat in that seat, Duckers.
Yeah, like this is DNS with an entire KT bottom lane, Wolf. Like, this is, never say that it's not throwable.
I kind of feel like this one shouldn't be throwable. KT,
I mean, yeah, of course it shouldn't be
had
throwable.
an Akali, okay. They didn't have a lot of siege. They didn't have great engage to get into the base and end the game. DNS, in this case, only get one inhibitor, which is pretty insane. Like, Zeus is clearing the minion wave. We were like, oh, it might not necessarily matter. If they win this game, it will have been incredibly important.
Yeah.
Because they would have died 100% if he doesn't clear there.
He is one of the most useful 0-7 Auroras
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
I mean, now they might randomly win the game if there's a throw. It's possible. Like, there's only one inhibitor down. The inner in bottom lane is still up with full plates because this comp is a Cassante Ari comp, so not really split pushing a whole lot. But
yeah, the side laning is not necessarily the most dangerous. Well, it looks like HLE are actually able to get some Baron vision here as well. Might even be able to take this crab as a teleport in from the Cassante, but Kanavi successfully takes that crab away.
Zeka does not have TP, only has Weaver's Wall, so if they were able to get the Weaver's Wall out of him, it would have been a huge win.
Oh, and Closer doesn't quite finish off the death cap. That could have been a huge thing.
The timing of that play, unfortunately, doesn't really help DNS that much because the Baron wasn't actually up. So HLE are just kind of like, all right, well, you're obviously not doing Baron, so we can actually regroup and it won't matter. Zeka is clearing these top minion waves as quickly as he can so they can have a fair fight here. I think DNS are going to have to be decisive. They have all the tools to win this game.
And honestly, if they just play it out, you know, calm and collected, they should be able to take this to a game number 3. We'll just have to see. HLE, they have some tricks up their sleeves. I mean, that's 4 items on Gumayushi. Like, he's very scary.
If they end up getting like a huge Tempered Fate into massive shove, you know, there is a miracle win con or a Kanavi steal again.
Oh God, don't let it happen, DNS. Do not let him into that pit. As Vaultbreaker getting charged, Zeka taking a fair bit of damage here from the poke out of DNS. As Pioshik over the wall, Dudu just tanking up the Baron.
Pioshik's positioning here really strong.
Oh, Pop Blossom finds Gumayushi and Zeus as well. Guma goes into the Tempered Fate, Delight trying to keep him safe, but Dudu will jump on top of him, goes all out to take him down. Closer is dead as well though, as Pioshik gets into that back line. And Delight looking a little worse for wear, but HLE, they are backing away. They have lost Guma, but they've traded 1 for 1, and if you're losing by this much, 1 for 1 ain't bad.
Yeah, Pioshik actually doesn't end up getting that much value because the fight happens away from his flank. And he has Hextech Soul on the Wukong, and the Cyclone should be insane, but he actually only uses after the retreat is really in full effect. For HLE, you know, he's being zoned by Delight here, so when the Pop Blossom hits, the Wukong still isn't here. Closer's follow-up is immense. It is so quick, but the Tempered Fate actually buys a lot of space here for them to retreat out. Even though Guma dies, so much damage has been done to Duckdom that DNS have to play this really slow. The Cyclone value is relatively low. They end up only trading 1 for 1. Like you said, it's not really a 1 exchange for them. And a few more fights like this, and Hanwha Life Esports will have that inhibitor up. I mean, it's up in 80 seconds. This game is still somehow, some way playable.
Well, a second Elder Dragon, Wolf. Let's see whether that is going to be enough to change the tables, as Kanavi could be in trouble. Another Cyclone from Pyoshik. True Shot Barrage, a lot of damage.
And the slow.
Kanavi just barely survives. As it's a hot cup of cocoa delivered from Delight to help him out there. But now he has to go back.
Yeah, I mean, he's not
so
dead.
That should be free Elder.
He's not dead, but he's effectively dead because he cannot.
He's not dead, but he's dead?
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, Tempered Fate is going to make the Elder golden.
Buy time, buy time. Headskate in, Kanavi, come on.
Oh dear. So that is second Elder Dragon for DNS. How many Elders does it take for DNS to kill a Nexus? Is it 2?
The last bro. They know the answer.
Oh dear.
That'd be a spoiler.
It's not enough. There weren't enough Elders in that game. There were not enough. This time there's at least 2, and let's see whether it's going to be when paired with the Baron. Like, this is Exodia. They're putting Exodia together right now.
It's Exodia with Hextech Soul and the 4 Drake to 0. It could only be more Exodia if they had 3 grubs to end these turrets' lives.
Oh yeah, true. Can't be true. No, but Exodia is 3, isn't it? Oh wait, isn't Exodia 5? I didn't play enough Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not gonna lie to you.
It is 5.
Yeah, we need
left.
I need
foot,
Kangas. Where's Kangas?
Arm,
he's
right
the
foot, right
Yu-Gi-Oh!
arm.
guy.
Yeah. And then the Forbidden One himself.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Oh, Doc Dom? I don't know about that. Doc Dom.
He doesn't get shoved, and he has
he has a GA. But like, that was still very
Like I said, that was unlosable. Unlosable.
Oh shit! Stop it, Wolf.
Unlosable situation.
I've seen the game in this position. Okay, Pop Blossom from Peter finds absolutely nothing as Gumayushi, he actually walked into the snare part of it and will be backing away. The Dragon almost takes him down as he gets back towards the fountain. Oh, closer! He will just get 1-2 punch, but Kanavi's gonna get answered. Zeus goes down as well. First Nexus turret to fall. Doc Dom and Dudu now standing back, but that could have gone way, way worse.
I mean, they have the cannon minion here. The top wave is super far away.
I mean, DNS have Exodia, Wolf. They have that should be game over.
Yeah, I think it will be because Dudu shows back up.
That's a lot of health bar. My goodness, he has so much health bars. Okay, Peter almost dead. As Gumayushi's sitting at full health here. Doc Dom looks for the angle, has to flash to get out of the way. The seismic shove. Dudu is basically immortal in this game. Just hit the Nexus. Doc Dom, just hit the Nexus. As the Dragon comes down from the sky, Dudu almost dies to the fountain, but DNS bring us to 3 games. The Raps camp that was up, Wolf. That must have been what it was.
Zeus did an insane amount of damage.
He was
in a very suicidal way.
This was one of the scariest, like, 0-7 Auroras that I've ever seen. However, it was not enough. Doc Dom doing massive amounts of work in this game.
탈리아 노플.
그냥 끝낼만해.
나
피 채울게, 피 채울게.
나 중요도 있어. 나한테 그거 하지 마. 내 앞에 서줄게, 기다려. 앞비전만 안 박으면 될 것 같아. 야, 더블 받았다, 코르키. 타워 쳐볼래?
코르키부터 뿌려.
바이키를 박으면 봐줄게. 바이키를 박으면 봐줄게.
이런 타워 치면서 볼게.
위에 박으면 위에 기대면서 해봐. 야, 타워 칠래?
이거 쌈 보면서 해야 돼. 각 보면서 해야 돼.
다 보면서 해봐, 이거. 더블 빠졌어, 코르키 더블 빠졌어. 쳐봐. 근데 탈리아 노플이야, 탈리아 노플. 끝내. 어우, 야, 빡세, 나 나이스. 나이스.